¿Alguna vez te pasó terminar con una masa así que no sabes qué hacer? Bueno, hoy te voy a enseñar cómo hacerla.
Vamos, I'll show you.
Guten Morgen a todos. Estoy en Bath, Inglaterra, y me vine a la cocina de Richard Bertinet para aprender de la mano de él cómo es su método de amasado tan famoso. Vamos para adentro. Y acá estamos. Ah, dice closed. ¿Cómo? Ah, now it's open.
Hey, how are you? Nice to see you. You good?
Miren esta foto, la única foto que queda de Richard cuando era joven, 14 años de asistente de panadería, de ayudante y con pelos, mirá, como yo. Bueno, gracias Richard, merci.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Acá estamos en la cocina de Richard Bertinet y vine en búsqueda del famoso método de amasado francés o método Bertinet, y qué mejor aprenderlo directamente de sus propias manos.
My pleasure, my pleasure. So, yeah, where do you want to start?
With the
Should
dough.
we go back in the Middle Ages?
With the
when
Middle
dough-
Ages, the story. Sí, entonces me gustaría, Richard, que nos contaras un poco de la historia, cómo es que llegamos al método antes de ponernos ya con la masa.
So, what I want to teach you is what I teach everybody who comes to my school in here. And you know, I always believe people are scared of the dough or don't understand how dough works. So, the more I teach people, the more I learn that if you have the fear of the dough, you can't progress. So it's not about sourdough, it's not about pizza, it's about understanding the basic of bread making. So, you know, when I was 14, I remember working in the bakery. And,
In France.
in France, yeah. So first months I was cleaning, respecting my environment. And then I was allowed to touch the dough. And the first time I had a massive lump of dough, my boss, big lump of dough in my hand, and it was sticking like hell. I was like, oh my God, what's this in here? And he said to me in French, il faut maîtriser la pâte. You got to master the dough. Or, like I say now, in my last book, show the dough's boss.
Yeah.
If you're
Who's
scared of the
boss?
dough,
I'm
then the
boss.
dough will feel it and it will stick to you. So it's very easy to compromise when you make something, you know. But when I teach people in here, all our dough are all the same. 12 people, 12 dough the same. Same method, same recipe. So it's you got to understand the basic first. And the hardest thing is not the bread itself or the dough itself, it's people. You know, when you're scared of something, if you're not used to it, then you compromise. If you compromise, you change everything. So having a foundation, if you've got a good foundation to start with, then you can build on it. If your foundation always change, how can you build on it? So give the confidence to people. Give them something they believe they can do all the time. And then my basic recipe is 1 kilo of flour, 700 grams of water, 20 yeast, 20 salt. That's your foundation, okay?
It's a basic.
Your basic dough. And that dough make the best baguette the next day. That dough become your ferment for the next dough. That dough can become pizza. That dough can become everything. So if you understand that, you always go back. You don't need books, you don't need recipe, you know? And if you think of bread, doesn't matter which country you come from, everybody in the world knows the ingredients for bread.
Yeah.
Ask everybody, they all know
Yeah.
it. So how can it be so hard to make bread properly?
Yeah.
To be consistent. If you ask people a recipe for a bœuf bourguignon or bouillabaisse, something, you need a recipe.
Yeah.
For bread, we know the ingredients.
Yeah, it's very
But
easy.
the magic of having just, you know, some flour, a bit of yeast and salt and water to become a loaf of bread, that's where mastering the dough, a boulanger is somebody who understands that. It's the same as cheese making, fermentation. Understanding, mastering the fermentation is something magical, but it takes practice. But everybody wants to be there when they haven't started at the beginning. When you start somewhere, it's step by step. Okay, so
Practice is everything.
yeah, absolutely. Now, sourdough is one thing, but basic dough, understand how dough feel. If
To
dough,
read, I said like to read the dough, to
yeah,
understand
I'm
the
going
dough.
to teach you the way I read the dough. Okay, and when you understand that, then you become master of the dough, and that's your beginning of the journey when you start baking. So then you can go on to any other recipe you want.
Bueno, básicamente lo que Richard nos cuenta, la idea es que mantenerlo simple. Keep it simple, mantenerlo simple y aprender a leer la masa. A leer la masa, una masa básica, una masa no muy hidratada, una masa simple de trabajar con pocos ingredientes, harina, agua, sal y un poco de levadura, y entender la masa, leer la masa, aprender el método ese tranquilamente y después empezar a aplicarlo, hacer otras masas y seguir avanzando. Pero la idea al comienzo es tratar de entender, de leer la masa del método para no complicarnos en la vida, porque uno ya enseguida quiere aprender, quiere ver cómo hago la otra, cómo hago la de acá, resultados, y lo primero que hay que hacer es entender, practicar, que ahí en gran parte está el resultado.
So in here I got 1 kilo of strong bread flour. I use English flour, Wessex meal. Beautiful.
I think use just bread flour.
Yeah, strong bread flour is fine. Okay. I got 20 grams of fresh yeast.
Fresh yeast.
If you have dry yeast, use dry yeast.
Yeah.
And sea salt. I don't use table salt. Always sea salt. Okay. So in here.
Sea salt. Okay.
Very simple.
And I see that you don't mix.
No, not to start with. I leave it there. So that's the method I use people. Then at the bit, I always cover my salt a little bit. Then the yeast in here, I keep it very simple. Flour and rub it.
Great.
Just that. Then mix everything together. That's it. And here I got 720 grams of water. So I know my flour. Also with flour, when I used to run a bakery, which I sold 3 years ago, the flour we use there, we always rest the flour. Our flour was rested for 21 days before we use it. I never use fresh flour. Because flour for me needs to stabilize after mixing.
And oxidized, no?
The oxidized is, in French we call it avoir du plancher. So stabilizing the flour after the milling process. I'm talking big scale. Okay, not at home your small mill is fine, but on a big scale bakery, the flour, freshly ground flour for me is like grain. It doesn't mix properly. It feels all tense. So when it's relaxed, oxidizing, it's just much easier to work. So
and in a bakery, you need the constant quality. So.
So I never use any improver, never use acid ascorbate, never use anything.
No.
So for me,
these are the ingredients.
That's all. Yeah, absolutely. So I got 720 grams of water.
That's hydration of 70%.
72.
72.
Yeah. Okay. So put my water in there. On books, many books, or you see it on TV, people put their hand in there. Never do that. People don't like it to stick. So why putting your hand in there? Okay. So
what will you use?
So what you use?
Cornet. Scraper.
Corn in French or scraper?
Cornet. Comment c'est en français?
Corn.
Cornet.
Corn.
Without T.
Without T.
Corn.
Okay. And this in here is mine. See? I'll give you one after.
Okay.
And this in winter is very good for the windscreen for your car. Take the ice out. Or in your bathroom, just.
It's very useful.
One thing I teach people is when you mix dough, your power in your body, if you look at the mixer, the power is not on the dough hook. The power is from your core and your legs. Okay, so if you put your body like this and there, it will not work. You got to have 1 foot forward, 1 back. Your left hand become your kind of engine. Your right hand is your dough hook. Okay, and your whole body has got to work. Okay, like if you go rowing on a boat, you don't use just your arms. You use your whole body. So what I'm doing there is bring the flour, and that's what we call the phrasage.
Phrasage, yeah.
Okay, blending your ingredient together on the mixer, 4 or 5 minutes. Okay.
Speed 1.
So at that stage, you realize if you miss flour, if you miss ingredients, you can always correct your dough at that stage. But you keep
and you added
clean.
all the ingredients, the salt, everything at the beginning.
When I teach people, I do that. Then you can put the salt later and everything. But keep things simple to start with.
Yeah,
very simple.
Too complicated, always.
You can start making things too complicated, too many steps,
Yeah.
When I teach people, when I describe my teaching, that you got a filing cabinet in your head. That's a filing cabinet. And in your filing cabinet, there's little drawers. When you bake, you got to have the same routine all the time. If you miss one drawer, you pay 2 steps later. So always go at the same method.
Good.
Okay, and say your method out loud before you do it, and then you will make it. So I'm bringing all the dry to the top. There's an obsession to go too quick on the table. The more work you do in the bowl, it's clean, it stays where it is.
And you can move with the bowl too, if you have to.
Have a go. Oh, it's good to have commies in here.
Me contrataron de asistente. I'm your assistant.
That's right. You missed a bit there.
Yeah.
So you see, even that's 1.740 of dough. But because dough, when dough sticks, is much more physical.
Yeah.
Okay, so plop. So make sure every step, bowl nice and clean.
Nothing.
So that dough is going to rest in there after. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so our dough now is on the table. Okay, but you can see how messy it is. Yeah.
Can I use the French method?
You can't knead this. If you knead, you end up with dough everywhere. So people.
Are you sure?
Yes, well, try.
No, yeah, you have. Ooh.
So I was right, yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you. So most people, if you only know the kneading technique, you can't knead this. It's too sticky. So they put flour everywhere.
Can you put in some flour?
No. That's your flour. Okay. So what you got to do first, when something is very messy, you tidy up, don't you? So we're going to tidy up the dough. Get a scraper this side now, and tidy up the dough. That's what I call patternage. Keep it tidy. You see already, it's changed.
You make it very easy.
Okay. So that's step number 2. Next step is what we used to call découpage. Lifting a big lump of the trough. Then we're going to slap it on the table. Passage en tête.
It's like a kind of stretching.
Slap it.
And slapping.
So first part is this. Okay, so move a little bit. Thank you. Arms like this, yeah, not like this. And so the twin-arm mixer was created doing this. It's the same. So you're there, you lift the dough up. You slap it.
Slap it.
You stretch it over the top. See that? Now, when people touch the dough for the first time, they do this and then try to think it's too late. And they leave the dough like this, and then it goes there, it goes everywhere.
Yeah.
And they put their hand back in there and they don't understand. And look at the mess.
Yeah,
okay?
I'm saying.
So if this happens, I say to people, take your hand away. Take your scraper, tidy up.
Tidy up again, yeah.
And when you tidy up, it's what I call taking the dough for a walk. Walk the dough.
Yeah. To make some kind of surface.
Exactly. So one thing I teach people now is if you want to understand the language of the dough, you got to understand 2 things with the dough. The most important thing in making dough. The dough's got 2 sides. The top and the bottom.
The bottom.
Never mix it up. So never do this.
Yeah. It
Leave
will become
your top
sticky
on
again.
Top. Yeah. So if your top is on top, moving your legs, then the dough doesn't stick. And you can start again. And there's a lot of stretching. So now a lot of people copy my technique and they do this. So their body is there and they just do this size.
Yeah, and then
that's a lazy way of doing it because your hand,
not stretching.
You're not stretching it sideways.
Yeah.
The stretching sideways is telling you when the dough is ready.
You're not turning it.
You turn it at the end, right at the end, to tuck it in. At the beginning, you use the stretchiness to give you the extension of your gluten.
Yeah, I understand.
If you take your hand away from the dough, it doesn't work. Keep your hand on the dough all the time. Okay, your turn.
Ahora viene el problema. Now comes the problem. Ya, ahí ya me perdí. Sorry.
A bit sweaty.
Yeah, no, sí, la verdad que es de cornet.
So what's happened there is typical when I teach people. Your hand are in the dough, your brain tries to go with it,
sí.
and then you go into a panic.
Yeah, I start in panic because las manos van para un lado, la cabeza para otra. Your hands go.
So when I teach people, I always said it's a natural movement, but the more you look at it, the more you stick.
Yeah, you don't have to look. You don't have to.
Don't take your hand away.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, don't cross your thumb on top, although you damage the dough.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, when you do this, look at my hand now. Look at this. Don't look down. Don't look down. And imagine, let your body go with the dough. Let your body go backwards and forward. That's it. You see your legs better now. Go backwards and forward. That's it. Now you got it. Much easier because now your hand think, not your brain.
Yeah.
It's a natural movement. Now you're in tune with the dough. Much easier.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? When you look at it, you get tense.
Yeah, panic.
Okay? Now stop, scrape.
Scraper.
No. Look, that's your bottom.
Yes,
always stop with the top.
The top, yeah.
Always with top on top. So when you move the dough, if you're right-handed, the dough is going to go clockwise. So when you move the dough goes clockwise and bring it back to you.
Clockwise.
Okay.
But I have a problem with clockwise. When I mix
In
sugar
Argentina,
and
it goes
coffee,
the other way.
No, I do it the other way.
If you're left-handed, you go anti-clockwise.
Yeah, but I'm right-handed, but I mix
Right-handed?
it on the other side.
It's very hard to go this way because the power is from your core, from your legs. So
Yeah, but I
just
have
move
a
it.
problem
See,
with that.
take it for a walk.
Yeah.
Try that. Move your legs, move your legs. Take it with you. Don't turn the dough. See if I do this in here. Okay, move the dough clockwise, but leave this on top.
Okay.
Keep it moving. Move your legs. Are you a good dancer?
No.
No, I can say that. So that's a visual thing. People can understand. Move your legs. Much better. And move your legs again. Move back with it. Perfect.
Yeah.
Here we go. So if you got the big dough, your core and your legs, that's what's working hard,
Yeah,
not your
I
arms. You got it now. Well done.
Oh, me puedo quedar así todo el día.
Not bad. So when it goes wrong, you always stop and do this scrap. So your dough is back to your foundation. And then
Yeah.
this technique by hand is quicker than on the mixer because there's so much development on the dough. I'm faster with my hand than on the mixer.
Mixer, yeah. I understand.
But my hand stays in the same place because when the dough is ready, it will come off my left hand first and then my right hand. I can feel it now, getting stronger and stronger. You can see the air pocket forming in there.
Yes.
Okay, it doesn't stick.
Lo que me dice que justamente que relajarse y que no hay que pensar. El tema es de no pensar y dejar que las manos trabajen, no la cabeza. Porque cuando uno empieza a mirar y empieza a hacerlo y al mismo tiempo, la verdad es que se pone muy complicado. Además, los nervios que debe estar acá.
You can see the dough is coming off my hand. Yeah. So I know the dough has got the strength. It's like when the dough slap on the side of the bowl, you know.
Yeah, start doing that. Tap,
Yeah.
tap, tap, tap,
So
tap.
now at that stage in here, I just do a few quarter turn, just to take the dough onto itself. See my dough now. Look how beautiful that is. I show people inside. Inside, this doesn't stick. This sticks.
This is stick, yeah.
So if you understand and you can read the dough, if it's sticky, don't put your finger there. But it's a magnet. People, it's sticky, they put their finger. They can't help themselves. They know it's stick, but they put their finger in there.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do it with fire, would you? So what I do, put the non-stick side over the top. Take your scraper
And you close it.
and close it down. So if you want to separate your dough, but you don't have to add flour. Then it's the same in here. Okay?
Perfect. And here is my dough.
Yeah. French, English, Argentinian. So also when you put two doughs back together, sticky side, and then I haven't used any flour yet. And then when the dough is done, I just put a tiny bit of flour, like this, and then get my bowl, squeeze the dough onto a little bit of flour. Now the dough doesn't stick. And so you lift it, put it in a bowl. Let's go.
Okay. Bueno, esta parte sí la sé hacer.
Good. But you can see the dough, it's alive, yeah? There's air inside. But it's the same as I started. If you work that dough with flour non-stop, you change everything.
Everything.
That makes sense?
Yeah, of course.
So it's a basic to understand that. And then we just advertising.
Momento de advertising.
Okay? I'm going to show you another thing which is very important. And the dough can rest for an hour, 2 hours, 3 overnight. This dough overnight in the fridge make great baguette. Now when people got sticky hand, they want to wash your hand. If you wash your hand, you end up with a mess in your sink. So a tiny bit of flour, like this,
I really needed this.
and rub your hand. You got fresh pasta now.
Todo es parte del método Bertinet, esto también. No? This is part of the Bertinet method too.
Oh yes, everything to understand how dough work, always work.
Yeah, good.
And then this can go in the bin. And the last thing you should always remember when you work in a bakery
Yes.
is never wear black.
Never wear black. Whoa!
Turn around.
I felt something.
So the method sometimes, it looks very hard and people get frustrated, but it's because the frustration comes from inside. Your body knows what to do.
But
your head knows what to do, but your brain, your eyes.
complicates.
Yeah. When I teach blind people, sometimes I think, how can I do it? Because your eyes now are not here. Your eyes are inside.
Your fingers.
If you feel things, you keep. If you go to a dark place, you don't go there rushing around, do you? You feel your way around. So your eyes become your fingers. And when you don't look at the dough, your body will take over. That's why when I said to you, look at my hands, your body starts to move.
Yeah.
It's to let yourself go with the flow.
Okay.
Understand how dough works. You know, when you lift something heavy, you lift it with your body, not just with your arms. So when you stick, it feels very heavy. It's not heavy. So it's pushing the dough with your legs and your core. Then it happens. So it's not overthinking it. But it's very hard for the brain to do that.
So two different things at the same time.
So and when you got it, it's a skill. So it's something you got inside you. So you never lose it. It's like when you learn how to cycle. You know, when you don't get your balance right or whatever. It's the same. When you got it stays with you forever.
Yeah, it's easy.
And then it's repetition.
Bueno, ya pasó la parte más complicada donde me transpiré la vida. Y ahora vamos a continuar haciendo un par de panes con la masa ya fermentada. Okay. The worst part is over.
What do you mean worst part? The best part. Worst part. You wait for this one. You wait for this one. Oh, we have great fun together. The worst part. That's nice, isn't it?
Now coming the worst.
People are going to be put off now. What do you mean the worst part? People travel all over the world to come in here. You could do the worst part. No. Don't cut. No, put it on. That's terrible. You're supposed to be advertising my class, not putting them off. Jesus.
Nah, it's not the worst. So, what do we have here? Here's the dough.
It's the same dough as we did earlier, but double the size. So I want to show you.
Double the size or triple the size?
That's 2 kilos of flour there. Okay. So that's the top of the dough in here. Okay. So when I teach people how to handle the dough, there's one thing I never do is knock it back with your fist inside. I always try to keep my top on top. So degas in it, but always keep my top on top. My top, from the moment we mix the dough on the table to the end of baking, it's the same top. So I'm going to show you how to do this. Okay. So we'll divide some baguettes and show you the method, my method of shaping baguette and so on. Okay. So my dough is here. I put a light dusting of flour, not too much. That's nice, huh?
Nothing.
See that? It's French. And then my scraper again. Just release the dough there. And turn the dough over. So you can see that's a sticky side in here.
Size,
okay. So I do a degas to do a bit. Just
You degas it.
just degas it there. Okay. So compress the gas a little bit. And then I divide the dough. Okay. So I keep it very simple. Put my scale in here.
Do you always weigh the dough or just cut it by the eye?
No, well, I'm good, but not that good. And then, so I always teach people, your left hand, if you're right-handed, is like a scale. So cut some strip first. You can use metal scraper or this in here. And then we're going to do about 200 gram pieces of dough. And what I'm going to do, that'll be enough for today. And this one here, I can use it tomorrow. So when I fold it again.
For a country loaf or something.
Yeah. But tomorrow it will develop flavor. And that's, my top is back on top in here. So I never stick. And back into my bowl.
This can go to the fridge.
And this will go in the fridge.
Great.
Or I can use that dough to ferment the next one.
Ah, yeah. Le
So,
pâté
fermenté.
Pâté fermenté.
So
You usually pre-shape the dough and then...
not really. You can do it. I do it for sourdough, for large loaf, for baguette. I try to keep it like that. It's fine. So we use
La couche.
la couche. Do you know what couche means in French?
Couche? Yeah, it's for the babies.
Yeah. No, couche is the nappy.
Ah, the nappy.
Not
Ah, okay.
couche. Also, la couche is where your bed in a way.
Ah, in your bed.
So coucher is go to sleep. So your couche is something you lay things on.
Yeah, it's like a...
So
Okay.
it's made from pure linen. It's the same as a basket, you know.
Linen.
Linen, yeah. So tiny bit of flour on this one. Bit of flour
Not
in
too
here.
much flour.
No, just a bit. That's enough. So my dough is going to be gassy. It should be right. So the way I shape my dough. So my top is underneath, yeah. So simple fold.
Yeah.
Turn over. Simple fold. And then I seal the two edges together in here.
You stretch it.
So when I teach people, I teach them to make small baguette because their little oven at home is
That's
that big.
the demi-baguette?
Demi-baguette, yeah. Okay. If you make big baguette in here, at home they can't do it.
Yeah.
So it's better to learn to do a lot of small one
Yeah. The
Keep
problem
it
with the
simple.
baguette is that you can bake it at home. You don't have that space in the
Exactly.
oven.
So
Yeah.
I put a bit of flour on the top.
That happened to me a lot of times.
So you learn more by doing a lot of small one
Yeah.
than try to do a lot of big
And
ones.
for sandwiches are much better.
Exactly. So there, it's basically, I always say there's a spine in the middle. The spine is your back, is where you give strength to your dough. And you can just, that's the French technique we do like this, fold it over the top. And it depends, every dough is slightly different. So this
Yes.
one is a bit gassy, so
Yeah.
see, it's thick.
Yeah.
So
That may happen.
if this happens, I tell people, just leave it for a bit,
See.
let it rest a bit,
Yeah.
clear up.
And start with another one.
Yeah. So there, fold, turn over, fold inside, and seal the two edges together.
Perfect.
And your spine is there, what we call the seam,
Yeah.
and then your top is the same top as what it was before.
And I do it like this, and
Yeah.
I turn it over too.
Yeah, that's good.
But I don't press it that much.
But people think I press everything, I don't.
Yes.
My hand in it, press just the middle
Like
bit.
this. What I do in this step, I do like 2 folds, and then I do this kind of stitches.
Uh-huh.
Like doing this kind of stitches.
It's the same as I do, but
The Gluten Morgan way.
that's fine.
And then with both hands like this. Here's my humble demi baguette.
Yeah, not bad.
Not bad. Not bad. So, bien.
That's good. Yeah, the world of baking is incredible because there's so many ways of doing things,
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong way. It's, and then this is not
Very
going to be
clever.
long now. That's going to be 20 minutes, half an hour, and we put it in the deck,
Good.
and we cut them with a proper blade. I'll show you that.
Bien, ahora que ya terminamos las baguettes, vamos a ponerlas acá sobre las peels, sobre las palas. Las vamos a cortar y las vamos a hornear en el horno con el método de vapor, ¿no? El método Paper Bertinet method.
See.
Sí.
So our baguette are ready now. We're going to move the baguette from there onto the peel and then into the... So in a bakery, of course, you have the big setter, you do everything. But at
You
home...
have a big peel and...
Yeah. So
But I love these kind of mini peels.
Yeah, they're just good.
This is recycled wood.
Yeah.
Yes, an old wood.
Very good.
It's fine.
So I just always put a tiny bit of semolina.
Ah, yo sé Malina. That's
Back in the old days, we used to
Italian.
shave-
That's
yeah,
Italian.
semolina, or you can use a... And then lift them up and then... Do you know which one is yours?
I don't want to see. Can I bring the last one?
Oh, of course, sorry. Yeah. I was
you.
scared. I love doing this. So I got carried away.
Yeah, this is the best part.
Bravo, thank you. So, just give you a nice finish.
Yeah, the artisan touch.
Yeah, well, you can have it without. Do this one as well. And then, one of the other big fear people got is when we use
Yeah, have to
the
slash it.
lame de boulanger. So,
Lamb, yeah.
those thing in here, the original one was sharp, but this is what we call lame droite, straight bread.
Yeah,
But
lame
the way I do them, I curve them a little bit.
Yeah.
So this one here, you can see the method has been used. I've had it since I'm 18 years old.
Oof.
So you load the razor blade on top, like so. It's ready there. So you got a natural curve into it. And the conception people don't understand is they always got at an angle, when actually you should go in a straight line.
Yeah.
Because the curve would open up. And you only use that part of the blade.
This
corner.
This corner,
or
not
this
the whole
thing.
blade. Because
No,
then
no.
you lose
if
it.
If you do this in here, you catch and the blade goes out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you the way I teach people. So first thing I do them is
How many times you slash it? This one is small.
just do one. It's
Ah,
fine.
one.
Okay, so you go there. And it's always holding the blade 3 fingers. If you do 2 fingers, the blades move. 3 fingers, and you turn. And you just get your body nice and light. As you touch the dough, that will make you understand how much pressure you got to go with the blade. And then you just cut. If you want to do more than one cut, like so. Okay, so do some as well.
Okay.
whichever you're comfortable with.
Ahí viene mi parte, tum tum. Y ahora viene mi parte, miedo. Ok.
Sorry. Like this. There. And then turn your hand and put your little finger up. So your angle is right. And now you tap from there to there on top.
Ok.
Better.
Better.
A bit more slash. Good.
Faster. Miedo. Último.
Bend a bit, bend a bit, bend a bit. That's not bad.
Now temperature.
And one more in the middle.
Yeah.
Very good.
Este es el método Bertinet.
Highly technical this.
Bueno, ahí estamos horneando las baguettes a aproximadamente a 230, 240, pero como el horno es muy viejo, en realidad me dice Richard que marca cualquier cosa.
Yeah.
Y ahora Richard me puso una nueva misión, sacar la baguette del horno.
Right,
What are we waiting for?
the bread.
The bread.
That's ready. So I've opened the damper a bit, get a bit of dry heat to get the crust. And you can do the other. Come on.
One shot.
Yep. Nice. Oh, best part of the day.
Yeah. Ah. Oh.
Look at this.
Aha.
And listen to this. Crocante?
Crocante.
Crocante.
Crocante. Yeah,
It's nice
we
too.
get this. Yeah.
That's what you want. A nice curve. It's very elegant, very beautiful.
Yeah, it's more like a belly. They're so light. Mira.
And then when we open the door, they're going to start singing, what we call singing,
Yeah.
when they start cracking it. So that's when the cold air is starting.
Escuchen, como crepita la baguette.
Singing bread, we call it.
Singing bread. In French, it must be a word.
La croûte chante.
La croûte.
La croûte.
Ah, la croûte chante.
Chante.
La corteza canta. What a nice basket. No? Where did you get this from?
This is about 80 years old.
80
They
years
came,
old.
They came out of an old bakery in Brittany. My mother found them outside and took them out. They were full of insects inside and they've been cleaned. But that used to be for the rye bread in Brittany. So probably 5 kilo of dough in there. And they used to be turned over and you get all the marks in
It was a
there.
huge bread.
Well, big bread, yeah.
It was like a mold.
That's a proving basket.
Proving basket, yes.
So I got 2 of them now, but they're beautiful.
Yeah.
I love the design of it. I love the craftsmanship there is.
Yes.
And they're made to last a long time. You know, the cheap basket you buy now, they're cheap, but they break within 5 minutes. You know,
Yes.
so I like good equipment.
Tell me about these ones that you use here too, this roofing basket. So
Oh, this basket, yeah. I mean, this one you see, I've had it for a long time. These are new one, we just arrived. So I get all the linen come from France, and the basket I made in England, and I get somebody who just put the two together and sew them all. So again, this will last you. You know, at home, they last you forever. I mean, the main thing, don't wash them. People think you got to wash it with water. If you put water on linen, it just shrinks.
Yeah.
You brush them hard. Make sure after every use you dry them. Top of
Yeah.
the oven, dry them, and they'll be fine. They last forever.
Yeah.
You know?
Like this one.
Yeah.
Listen. Escuchan como crepita. Good. Oh.
Makes salivation, doesn't it?
With some jamon.
Oh yes.
Huh?
Ham, cheese,
Ham, cheese.
cornichon.
Oh.
So that's what we teach on our French bread class, and that's a basic white dough.
Yeah.
The basic white dough, we leave it overnight in the fridge, and that's what's happened. So you can make the skill of baguette is dividing properly, shaping properly, prove and bake.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's probably the French proper baguette. All the skill you need to learn about baking is in there. It's probably the hardest thing to teach. You make ciabatta, you make your dough. The ciabatta is very easy. You cut and you
have
bake.
to shape benefits, just to cut it. And
Focaccia, all this dough, when the dough is done, it's fine. The French bread, you can't have one bad step all the way. Your cutting is everything is important. So, but your shaping, you see, your shaping and my shaping, they're very similar. So,
That's okay, well. Bueno, estamos llegando al final del video. Por fin, miren las baguettes que tenemos con Richard acá en unos manjares increíbles. Yo Estoy terminando el café.
No.
Ah, no.
El vino.
Ah, vino. Vamos ahora con el vino. Ya es la hora del vino. Pero antes, quiero darte mi humilde libro.
Oh,
La primera edición. First edition.
I have to learn Spanish now.
Ya, sí. Ahora va a tener que aprender español.
But though is a language, so yeah,
So.
it's, thank you very much.
Ok. It's a
Lunchtime.
pleasure.
Now.
Gracias por la invitación.
Pleasure. Let's take some bread. Right, Raman. So when people come to my school in here, we work hard, we learn a lot, but we eat,
Yeah.
and we drink. Always finish the class with a big long lunch and make friends over lunch and everything else. So when you finish the class, glass of wine, then all the learning is done, and the eating part is a big part of it. So we keep food very simple, you know, fresh bread, and today we got some rillettes, pork rillettes. Have you ever tried that? And some gherkin. Very
This is
simple.
really French.
Very, very French, yeah. Good baguette. Look at this. Nice.
Ooh.
Beautiful. Look
Wow.
at this, eh? Still hot. Not good for you, but hey, doesn't matter today. I forgive you. So the way we eat this is take a bit of bread out and then a bit of pork rillette.
Oof.
And look at this. It's gorgeous.
Oh.
And this will melt onto your bread.
Yeah, because it's
There's
hot.
pork and goose fat. Okay, but then we're very healthy, so we put some gherkins as well.
This is even better than butter.
Oh yes. Look at this. A lot of it.
More? Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Bon appétit.
Bueno, espero que les haya gustado esta experiencia, es increíble. A Richard me parece que le encantó. Esto está buenísimo. Dejen en los comentarios qué les pareció. Síganlo a Richard. Vengan a estudiar acá lo de Richard, la kitchen de él. Que aprendan el método Bertinet de sus propias manos. Y nos vemos en un próximo video.
Chin chin.
Santé et merci.
À bientôt. Bonne boulange.
Espero que hayas disfrutado y te hayas interesado, como a mí me parece, en este fascinante mundo de la masa madre. Así que si tenés ganas de continuar con esto y seguir profundizando en el tema, te invito a que participes del curso completo de panes con masa madre, donde te voy a enseñar a hacer una masa madre y el mejor pan casero. Puedes hacerlo acá en el link de esta página. Espero verte muy pronto horneando esas nuevas recetas.